Next marketing system that we're going to be discussing today is called Law of Averages. Now, Law of Averages is the idea that over an extended period of time, something is going to play out. In our example inside of the field, talking with the customers, it's about looking at the no's versus the yeses. So again, in terms of Law of Averages, this right here is going to be a system for finding buyers. Now we know that 90% of the customers inside of the store are going to be a no. Whether they verbally tell us no, they don't come over to the showcasing or the demo, or are just really pre-decided about what they want to get inside of the grocery store. However, as long as we're talking to as many customers as we can, we know that 10% of the people are going to be a yes, meaning that they're going to be interested in coming over, they're going to be interested in hearing about the product, and they're going to be interested in picking up the product. Now, to really explain this theory, this concept, the first part is going to be basketball theory. So the objective here is to make 30 free throws. Now, let's say, for example, I were to give somebody 30 free throws and I said that they needed to make 30 out of 30. Now, even the best basketball players don't even have 100% shooting accuracy, so we know that that wouldn't work. Now, if I were to give someone 100 chances and all they had to make were 30, more likely than not, they're going to get that ability, or they're going to, make 30 free throws. However, we can have a guaranteed yes, right? If we gave somebody 300 tries and we're expecting them to make 30, that's 10%. That's kind of what that theory talks about. So really, to make 30 free throws, the more shots you take, the more baskets that you'll make. Now, as this relates to the field, the more people that we talk to, the more yeses that we're actually going to find inside the store. Now, again, it's also important to remember that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That means that if you're hesitant to talk to a customer, or you assume that they're going to be a no and you don't say anything to them, well, they're automatically going to be a no. So again, we need to make, take as many shots as possible, talk to as many people as possible. Now, the second theory to really explain Law of Averages is gumball theory. Now, the goal here is to get as many red gumballs as possible with 30 quarters. So right here, we've got 3 different gumball machines. And if I were to ask you, how would you distribute the quarters? Some people might say, put 10, 10, and 10 into each quarter, or each machine. Now let's break down that a little bit more. Let's say we had 25 blues, 25 pinks, 25 reds, and 25 yellows. That means that there's a total of 100 gumballs in each machine. If I were to put 10 quarters in here, right, that means that 10 over 100, I would have a 10% chance, which is good, right? I would have 10% chance here, which is good, 10% chance here is good. However, if I were to put all 30 quarters into one machine, that 10% chance would increase to 30%. So I would more likely get my yeses or my red gumballs if I were to put all 30 quarters into one machine. So as we've highlighted here, put all the quarters into one machine to increase your chances of finding your red gumballs. Now, as this relates to the field inside the store, we want to make sure that we put all of our time, energy, and effort into one event to increase our chances of finding our yeses. So the way we do that is by, limiting the personal phone use that we have inside of the store. We're not thinking about things that happened at the beginning of the day, or, things that might be happening at the end of the day. We're really focused in on giving 100% of our effort to the event that's right in front of us, or very similar, putting all 30 quarters into one machine. Now, the final concept to really help explain Law of Averages is one of my favorite. This one right here is called End to Club. So the goal is to see who can get the most numbers. That person's going to win $100. Now, the first person actually goes inside of the club, and they go immediately to the bar. Now, they ask the bartender if they could have their number. The bartender does not give them their number, but they said, hey, there's somebody over here that has been here all day. They seem pretty friendly. Now let's say you're the first person to go in. You walk over here and you notice, hey, this person's wearing denim on denim, and you don't like that fashion statement, so you choose not to talk to them. Now you try to go over to VIP because you heard that 50 cents in the club, and you try to get into VIP, but the bouncer immediately stops you right here. At that point, you're a little discouraged, so you come over here and you're a wallflower, and you try to cherry pick, again, people that are on the dance floor having a good time, see somebody that might stand out that you might be able to get their number. You're still a little bit, hesitant or scared to, talk to anybody or get anybody's number. So you head over to the bathroom to kind of wash up a little bit. You find somebody over here that, again, probably having a very similar time that you're having. Again, just not really as engaged and active inside the club. You guys end up sparking up a conversation and you get one number. At that point, you're pretty discouraged from trying to get any more numbers, so you leave. The second person that comes in, they immediately go over to the bar, and again, just like you, they ask the bartender for their number. And the bartender says, nope, I don't give out my number. However, there is somebody over here that's been here all day. They seem pretty friendly. So again, you walk around and we notice that, this person has denim on denim, but the goal is to not prejudge. The goal is to just get as many numbers as possible. So you end up getting this person's number, and it turns out that they're 50 Cent's manager. So you end up sparking up a conversation with them, and of course, because you're with 50 Cent's manager now, you end up getting into VIP. So you're in the club with 50 Cent. You guys are having a great time. You get everybody's number in VIP. From here, you guys all go to the dance floor. You're hanging out with everybody here. Because you seem to be the life of the party and you're hanging out with 50 Cent, you end up getting everybody's number here. From there, you guys go over to the dance floor. You guys are having even more fun. And then you guys go back over to VIP. You go back over to the bar. You head over to the restroom too, and the person that was there earlier is still there. You end up getting their number and bringing them into VIP, and then doing some more dancing on the floor. After that point, the day is over and you end up leaving. So the first person who came in, they got one number, and the second person who came in, got 20 numbers. So there's a couple things that the person, who came in second did that the first person didn't. The first thing that they did is, they protected their attitude. So the first person who came in, they lost their attitude after they got denied it in VIP. Spent a little bit of time by the restroom and ended up leaving. However, the person who came in second, again, they were, over here, they were over here, they were over here, over here. So one of the biggest reasons as to why they were able to protect their attitude is because they maximized their territory, meaning that they talked with every single person. So inside of the store, to ensure you have a good attitude, it's really about talking to as many customers as possible. That person was also able to have a good attitude because, again, they didn't prejudge. So again, the first person prejudged the person in denim on denim. The second person came in, obviously said the goal isn't to prejudge, but to get as many numbers as possible. And because that person didn't prejudge, they were able to get into VIP, which allowed them to really get even more numbers. And again, they didn't cherry pick. The first person who came in, they kind of sat right here, and they were pretty much waiting to see who might be able to, stick out and give them their number. But because the second person who came in didn't really prejudge, they didn't have to cherry pick because, again, they were able to maximize their territory and get as many numbers as possible. So when you go inside of the store, just always make sure that you don't prejudge, you don't cherry pick, you maximize your territory to talk with as many customers as possible, and that will allow you to protect your attitude inside of the store. So again, guys, this right here is Law of Averages. It's a system for finding buyers. Be sure to review and come back ready to go so that you understand how to utilize this more inside the field.